son of a... Don't get mad. Get sadistic.
Well, been a while since I've done a video. Won't make excuses with this one. But there was kind of a recent uptick a few weeks back of me seeing like AI being used to make Star Wars content. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I've said this in the past. I'm not a big fan of AI just because anything with art, any kind of, I don't know, the idea of the machines learning. Like I don't think I've ever seen Terminator. The concept of it being a problem down the line still scares me, but I've also said in the past I'm not that really bothered by dipshits losing their work, losing their jobs to AI when they're incompetent, lazy, or all the above, and none of the above is good. So not just the two examples I gave. But I find it funny to see this AI stuff come up because one, if there's stuff like some AI has stuff in it where you can notice like, why the fuck is this here? This is weird. Like maybe there's some aspect of it like that you're looking at in an image that makes you go like, why the fuck is that there? This is so random. And not even the LOL so random, just like random additions to a scene or whatever. I could swear I saw some like that. Hard to remember now. But despite that, seeing all this AI Star Wars stuff, it's kind of funny to me because it's like the only way you are seeing good content online about Star Wars that's entertaining to a Star Wars fan, especially if maybe you were a fan of the EU content or just want something interesting to watch in general, is through AI not made by Disney. And also, the fact that Disney was so butthurt about, I guess, a former employee using the skills of AI against them got them butthurt enough to where they sent a cease and desist. I'm not saying it gave me a hard on, but I do think I did have to briefly worry if maybe I accidentally swallowed some Viagra by accident. Oh wait, that's redundant. I said it twice. But anyway, because it's funny because I could swear when I heard about that it was through Star Wars Theory. He said that the guy who made some of the stuff I've been watching, he used to work for Disney. I don't know if he did. I forgot to look that part up when I decide to record this. Also not really relevant to what I wanted to make, but I thought I would just add this. If it is true this guy was a former Disney employee who they sacked after he used the AI skills he learned, and then they got rid of him because I think they no longer needed him because AI or whatever could do his job, I find it funny that even then, he's doing better than them because fuck Disney. It's kind of like with Bethesda. Fuck Bethesda. They could, like Todd Howard, that snake oil salesman, and Camille Paglio, that out-of-touch asset, they could tell me we're trying to make good stuff. It's like, okay, Disney, Bethesda, there is no try. There's do, and there's fucking up royal. And you were fucking up royal. So I'm hiring bounty hunters. But anyway. So the fact that this happened is kind of funny to me, but it's also just kind of dumb that we have to rely on AI to get good fan-made content. I don't know, maybe people don't want to put as much effort in either A, because it costs too much, or B, even if they do put all the effort in and they make no money from it, they still have to worry about Disney fucking with them. Like the militant ghouls that they are. Because their own stupidity is, I guess, costing them money. So, like, let's ruin everyone else's day. Like the Sarkeesians that they are. Fuck sticks. Wouldn't even let a father put Spider-Man on his son's grave. Those fuckbags. Anyway. I despite the fact that I'm kind of like I have some non-casino related reservations when it comes to AI. However, if it's just being made for art for the purposes of entertainment, I find myself more willing to at least tolerate it from a distance. It's kind of like seeing the mushroom cloud of a nuke. It's like, fuck, does it feel good not being at the center of that, or at least near that. And also, but the AI stuff at least looks cool. Like, my favorite one to listen to or watch is Darth Malgus meets Darth Vader. And it's not even like a physical meeting. It's more like Vader, because I recently was listening to some of it earlier while I was using the bathroom, and while I was watching, it was like, oh, I see. Vader's like asleep in a Kolto or Bacta tank, and like physically he's not there in Korriban or Morriban or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He is on he is in the Bacta tank, probably in his personal whatever, either on his personal ship or maybe the Darth Vader castle, whatever the fuck. His mind is there through the Force because the Force works in mysterious ways, much like God, and I can only assume whatever the Eastern bullshit for religion is. But I like the interaction because it's like, never would I ever expect to really see Vader and Malgus interact in such a neutral manner. Because I think I remember my buddy Dan said there is a comic where you see that Vader has all these Sith artifacts and they're always shit talking him. For the record, that it does sound like something a Sith Lord's ghost would do, because Sith are jackasses. I think they're cool and I find them interesting and probably good for a story or two about an anti-hero, but they are jackasses. They're like, I'm cool, you're not. They're every shitty rap song I've ever had the misfortune of hearing, either first-hand or second-hand. God, I hate rap. Well, modern rap. The rap song Noah from the 1940s or 50s was cool, though. While that is cool, now, while that would make sense for the Sith Spectres to be shit-talking Vader, the thing is, the AI's showing of him interacting with Vader and Malgus interacting, what's cool about this is Malgus is a proto-Vader. Like, if you look at Vader and Malgus' history, they have some things in common. They both had a woman they loved. They both killed them. The difference was I think Anakin's killing of her was more accidental. Malgus drove his lightsaber into his Twi'lek wife's heart because he did not want people to use her against him. And also, he realized she was making him soft and weak. I mean, some of that's also to be blamed on the Jedi bitch and her simp smuggler friend, but that's more so on Malgus and another Sith he was dealing with at the time, who he killed. That is the one good thing about Deceived, the book. You get to see some of Malgus, and I gotta tell you, that's why that book made me like him just as much as the lore I would see on YouTube. But anyway, and Malgus, like, you lie about Anakin Skywalker being dead. You drag his corpse with you, because it is because that lie is a comfort, because the truth is too cold for you to bear. And there's that interaction. There's also one with Revan, and I recently saw one where he meets Darth Nihilus, which Darth Nihilus, man, that fucker is creepy. Like, he fits the name. Like, it is a good thing he has the same name as the word nihilism, because his existence is empty and there's no real point to it, as much as there would be with nihilism. That's why I think nihilism isn't something a healthy person agrees with. In fact, that's why I think good villains are good for nihilists, or nihilists make good villains. Apologies, I was sidetracked. So Anakin or Darth Vader interacting with Malgus is kind of a cool thing to see. And again, it's because of that whole, like, they are not that. Also, I think even before this, back when we still had EU stuff that was more interesting to look at, and now just have crap, I'm guessing. You did have a book called The Book of Sith, a book that Palpatine made compiling texts from other Sith Lords' personal entries, I would also like to clarify. One of them was from Malgus. He gave this, Palpatine gave some of this excerpt from Malgus' personal journal to Vader, and Vader was like, I fucking respect this man. I feel him. Actually, I mean, if that is true in the EU canon, that Vader read that and he respected Malgus, I have to say, I wish that had been in the AI video as well, where Malgus and Vader meet, because imagine meeting a Sith who existed centuries before you, your mother, or any one of your kin or predecessors were ever born. It'd be like if I had just met, I don't know, Vlad the Impaler, or no better, Artorias Castus, and I found I had some things in common with him. I probably wouldn't, but I mean, it's better than meeting your ancestors who used to hunt down woolly mammoths and tell them you got killed by, like, an animal who looks like he's constantly T-posing in Australia. Actually, I would pay money to see that interaction. I would pay that is comedy gold. Actually, now I think about it. But so yeah, I'm not saying AI is good for the like. My main concern down the line would be if just all the shit we get now is just AI. So it's kind of like with the CGI. I wasn't against CGI, but I have to admit I'm not a fan. Looking back at how oversaturated it became, and there was this debate on whether it's like practical effects or CGI. CGI can be good if you are using it right and you have the money to use it properly. Maybe, and maybe not everything. Maybe not have everything look so shiny, even the fucking animals and organic life forms. But that's just me. My only concern was, okay, if this becomes oversaturated, this is going to wear out its welcome fast, like CGI did, and knowing how lazy people in Hollywood are, and some other YouTubers kind of are, because people who on YouTube who have a big following, usually when I watch them, there's not a lot of personality there. Mr. Beast. I would say Mr. Beast, but maybe I can't remember if he counts as a YouTuber or not anymore. Or, well, I think PewDiePie probably had some personality, but so I would hate that so much, because if you're all doing the same thing, why should I watch any of you? It's all the same shit being done. You're not trying to do anything that is unique to you as a like. It would be like if every writer tried copying Stephen King, or well, no, if you were copying the pulp writers, I could kind of understand that, because at least their concepts and writing style was at least interesting to me, and I actually like reading them. Even Phantom of the Opera, the book, like I got that for Christmas. I've been liking what I've seen so far. But that would be my main concern, is like, okay, if all you guys are doing the same thing, it's like if I went to a church and they were preaching what we would call woke bullshit. It's like, why would I go to a church for that? I could just go to Los Angeles or Portland, Oregon. God, those places sound like shitholes. Like, now Hutta sounds like less of a shithole than those places, but hey, maybe I'm expecting too much from a real world civilization to have actual personality and pizzazz or whatever the fuck. That's just my only real concern with AI in regards to this. Is I'm not saying it's good all around. There are some boons to it, some benefits, but there's also some things that could easily come back to bite a lot of people in the ass and take the jarbs of a lot of people who make stuff to entertain people, like writers. And I mean actual writers who actually put some thought into what they do, not how can I make this about ists and phobes and cocksuckers. In both senses of the term. That would be my main concern, but that's just me. I for the most part, though, I have no sympathy for the people in Hollywood who might be losing their jobs from this stuff, because it's like, what'd you expect? Like, every step of the way people were telling you they were tired of the shit you were putting out, you not only did not listen to them and insulted them, you doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down Purple-Aki style. Now, I find what you do what these idiots did more insane than Purple-Aki's story, somehow. I mean, Purple-Aki was a criminal. He was scum. I expect scum to scumbaggery. But I would expect Hollywood and people who make money off of the public, like making stuff to make them want to give them their hard-earned and semi-hard-on cash. I would expect them to at least be smarter about this, but they weren't. And I don't know if it's fully the writers, the people who make the effects. And sometimes I don't know if it's just the people up top, the Corpos, the Suits, the Bob Igers of the world, the incompetent dipshits who think they have a soul when, quite honestly, these fuckers have about as much taste as a psychopath or a serial killer. Actually, a serial killer might have more. But then again, they probably have more sense of theatrics. And I think I've been spending way too much time by myself now. Wow, walking up and down that lot really hasn't made it go away. Oh well. God, I need Jesus. But where was I? Oh yeah. So I'm just like, look, I'm a firm believer that, look, expect life to kick you in the nads eventually, because it makes it harder for you to be surprised by it. So there's a possibility this could be fuck-uppery. There's a possibility that some of this could not be fuck-uppery. I tend to lean toward both possibilities are likely to happen. It's like flipping a coin. Because the whole landing on its edge thing probably isn't going to be as likely as I would like to hope. But, that's just me. Like, Star Wars now, to me, it is dead. The only thing in Star Wars worth a damn is the old EU books and some of the older games. And even then, I still am trying to read through the ones I have, and am reluctant to buy anything else afterwards because I want Disney to crash and burn. Because they are a disgrace to the name they carry. Walt Disney was at least respectable. Say what you want about the man, I could at least respect him. Also, the whole he was a racist thing is bullshit as far as I'm concerned. If he was racist, he wouldn't have had problems with... Or he would have had a problem with hiring blacks and Jews. He still hired them. He just didn't want them being seen because he was more of the... Think of what the neighbors will say. That was it. So, and that's the... And even then, I still have to press X to doubt if maybe it was even that. And also, he was a commie crusher. So, I kind of have to tip my hat to him. As someone who hates commies, I fucking respect the man. So, yeah, and again, I have lost track. So, yeah, I'm just, like, saying, fuck it. At this point, Hollywood, you get what you deserve. Star Wars, you deserve to burn. And it's not even like you're gaining. It's not like with Malgus saying, power will be yours if you are willing to burn. It's not even that. These people are going to burn because they were stupid. It's like, how many times do you have to touch the flame before you realize it burns? And I think I dragged this out longer, so, y'all have a good one. I have some video scripts I probably need to get back to working on, so... Fuck it, have a nice day, and, Yima Ohid. Also, no, it's a Yima Ohid, bye.
Oh, don't get me wrong. 1,000 years ago, it had character. Crusades, Spanish Inquisition, Watergate. Now it's just mind-numbingly dull.